Hello Libra, Michelle B here. I've got some tarot messages for you. I've used the Solace Divinity deck. I've used the Art Nouveau Rider-Waite, Golden Rider-Waite, and I've used the Golden Universal. And I always start out with looking at what to embrace and what to leave behind for the next 12 days until I do your reading again. And then I'm going to look at all of our favorite topics, money and love. It's not like those two things are the most important things. That's just what people want to know about. There's so many things that are just kind of given in our lives. Yes, I know. The train wants me to know that it loves me. It just honks and honks until I acknowledge it. Okay, I love you too. All right, now that we got that out of the way, let's go ahead and get started. What to embrace and what to leave behind for you, Libra, for the next 12 days. This could be part of, these two cards could be part of a larger cycle than just the last 12 days or the next 12 days. They could be something that you've been working on for a while, because even though I've taken a break for a couple months or for like a summer sabbatical, this is something that's kind of been going on for you for a little while. It's transitioning from being the person that everything happens to being the person that takes control of their own wand, takes control of their passions, takes control of what's important to them, and leads their own life. Now, the thing about this card though, even though it is you, Libra, taking control, taking your wand and being ready to stand up for yourself, it's also a card of feeling like you have to fight someone else to get what you want. And that's not actually what's the case most of the time in human experience. Is not that other people are trying to stop you from doing what you want to do. It's that there's an imprint left over from your childhood when you were told you can't do this and you can't do that. Sometimes we're in positions where we have the choice of either walking away completely and just washing our hands of the whole situation, including any opportunities that come with that thing, or playing the game for a little while. And it's not about fighting, it's about playing the game. So be mindful of that. Now, the Seven of Wands is a higher vibration than the Ten of Swords, because the Ten of Swords is like, woe is me, it's so sad. Whereas the Seven is like, it's going from grief to anger, right? So in the stages of the levels of vibration, anger is a higher vibration than self-pity. Why are you being so needy? So it's a step up. You're going in the right direction. But the next thing is to realize that you're the one that's holding all of these fighting wands, okay? You don't have to fight. Do things your own way. Be smart rather than just being a fighter, a brute fighter, okay? So let's go on with the reading and find out more in depth what those cards meant, right? Because that Ten of Swords is going to come up again, all right? I don't think the Seven of Wands is coming up anymore, but we do have the Chariot, which has come up. Looking at your money stuff, your resources, what I'm getting is that no matter what, you're not gonna go hungry. You're not gonna lose a place to live. You're always gonna have a pillow and a blanket, you know. You got everything set, but there is this feeling like someone else has held you down, someone else has pushed you, and you gotta fight against it. Because we have the Devil here. And the Devil is the idea that you're being chained up, that you're being tied up by something outside of yourself that you have no control over. It's an evil entity that's oppressing you, right? So this is all these dark colored cards. That's the stuff that's going on in the unconscious mind, and it's like something that's like passing toward the past. It's not going in toward the future. It's something that's happening, like going away as it's happening. The second I get a snapshot, it's already lost. It's already gone. It's already passed. Okay, so this is something from the past, and it's like resonating with the present. Okay, so something outside of you preventing you from doing what you want to do, but the fact is that and this is something that's kept you from moving forward with the things that you wanted to do, and it's made you feel like you don't have a voice of your own in your own life, right? But the truth is that you've had many in the past. You've had many opportunities that were presented to you, but for some reason, I don't see anybody tying this person down. For some reason, you had it in the idea that you could not accept that cup. And so you didn't reach out for it, even though you could have. It's sort of like that Indian story of the elephant, the baby elephant being tied to a little stick with a little piece of string, right? And as it pulled and pulled and pulled as a baby, and it couldn't move. And so when it got to be a big grown elephant, it was still being tied by a little piece of string and a little stick, and it thought it couldn't move. But you are not the child that you were. You're not the oppressed person that you were in the past, even though you're still dealing with the trauma and the grief of that oppression in the past. That's not the case for you now, the cards are saying. You now have the ability to accept. You have the ability to snap that string and move on, right? And that's what you're choosing to do. That's what you're embracing. Like, I do have the ability to go and do what I want. It's just that you think you've been held back, and you never have. It's something that's residual from childhood or from past experiences of being held against your will in some way, whether physically or emotionally. Now, the guidance that the cards want to bring to you is that things are changing rapidly outside of you in a positive way that are going to influence your life. So we have the Wheel of Fortune come up, and when it comes up, it says to me that because there's a play at work between the vibration that you hold and what you bring into your environment, and the environment influencing your vibration. So the environment outside of you is changing. Your vibration is still here, right? That's the Eight of Swords. I have mental constructs that are tying me up, right? So this is happening. This is where you think you are, right? And this is changing, and it's saying, be ready to get out of those bonds. Be ready to accept. If you're fighting and struggling, right? If you're still stuck in that, like, I have to struggle against these bonds, you're going to be too busy, and you won't be able to ride on that wheel, to catch it and ride it. So be ready to jump on that opportunity. Have your hands free. Don't have it full of sticks and swords, okay? Don't be in the mood for fighting when that wheel pivots. Be ready to accept the gift that is rolling in. You see, we have this circle and the circle. This is a gift that's coming in. Things are changing. And I think that's part. It's like either one thing might be influencing the other. The outer vibration, the universal vibration pivoting, making you feel more empowered. That could be happening a little bit, but it could be that you feeling empowered is bringing an opportunity for you to be able to accept, okay? Don't be so caught up, the advice is, don't be so caught up in being broody and moody that you miss the opportunity when it comes, okay? For just a little while, just be cool. Just like, don't be ready to fight. Don't be ready to feel sad. Just be like, okay, I'm ready. I'm ready to grab it. I'm ready to grab this opportunity that's coming, okay? And this has to do with resources, things that you can touch, right? Okay, moving on to the love messages. Now, I had to move away from the windows because it was just too noisy out there. Life started happening. So I had to move way back and into my kitchen so that I could talk to you without constantly having to yell over all the trucks. Your love messages. Now, there may be some of you who don't resonate with any of these messages at all. That meant that the messages are not for you at this time, at least. And so you can shift over to your moon, your rising, your Venus, your Mars. Check out those readings and see if they resonate, because different signs, different parts of your chart can resonate at different times. And also, it may not resonate with you now, but it might sometime in the future. So it could be something to be mindful of, because time is a human construct. But looking at the internal landscape of Libra, when it comes to their relationship issues, there's that Ten of Swords that came up again. See, here it is in the upright. The Ten of Swords, I feel like other people just keep doing me wrong, right? Other people keep not living up to what they say they're gonna do. Other people aren't watching out for me the same way that I watch out for them, right? That's happening there in your head, right? So yeah, maybe you had a rough go at a relationship in the past and it made you feel like you can't trust other people. And then that's put you in a place where it's like, should I trust them or should I not trust them? You don't feel like you have enough information. And as long as you stay in that vibration, yeah, you should stay away from relationships, because all that you're going to attract when you're on the lookout for something bad, all that you attract is something bad. Okay? Do not get into any kind of relationship when you're still in the place of being on the defense. Okay? When you're in, this is not a position to be in when you're trying to get in a relationship. Okay, you but there's this right here. It's like, but I want to find something, right? I do want to start something. I want to have a connection with someone else that feels really good, that I can grow with, someone I can learn from and I can grow with. Well, that's great. It doesn't have to be in a relationship. This is something that you're being reminded of. It does not have to be in a relationship. You can just get to know people for a while. Just enjoy their company. Just learn from people. Just say, hey, let's hang out a little bit, with no strings, no expectations. Just enjoy the company of others. And most of all, enjoy the company of yourself without your mind going back to what people did, what people said. Okay. Now, the advice that you're getting for that specifically is it's time to start doing something. When the hangman comes up in the reverse, this is hangman upright, in case you're confused. When the hangman comes up in the reverse, it's trying to say it's time to take yourself out of the position of stagnation. It's time to do something. And I think that's coming with that vibration that's like shifting, opportunities coming down the pipe towards you. You need to be ready to accept them. And they don't have to be relationship status connections that are coming your way. They can just be, as the Fool is representing, they can just be light and enjoyable and spiritual without having to be the traditional escalator relationship where you move in together, eventually you get married, then you make babies, and then you have a retirement together, right? Live happily ever after, make sure and buy a Volvo. Doesn't have to be like that right now. Right now, it can just be lighthearted fun while you learn to build trust. You can't build trust if you're sitting in your house and going spinning over everything everybody did wrong to you in the past. It's time to put yourself out there. Put yourself out there. Relearn how to connect with people in a meaningful way, in a vulnerable way, so that you can enjoy life. It's really hard to enjoy life if you can't have connection with other people. And if you're on lockdown or whatever from the pandemic, you can find a way to connect with people without having to be physically close to them, okay? It's just a matter of letting yourself be vulnerable. I know you love to connect with other people. You're such a great friend, Libra. And you can have a really, really good time if you don't attach any kind of relationship oriented expectations to the connection. Okay, for now. The Judgment wanted to come up, and I feel like there's somebody looking out for you, and the Fool being here also, it's like there's somebody looking out for you from the spiritual realm that wants to guide you. I don't know why that came out of my mouth, but there it is. Somebody from above is wanting to show you something about you that's really special, and it's going to be really good for you to find out. So what you're being asked to do is take a little bit of quiet time to quiet your mind, relax, get really still within yourself, and ask the universe, source, God, to reveal to you what you need to know, and then wait quietly for the answer, and it's going to come. There's something you need to know. And you'll know it when the message comes through. When the message comes through, you're going to know. I don't know how you are going to sense it, because we all sense spiritual messages in different ways. I hear it like a voice in the back. It's in the back of my head. I hear it like a voice, like, tell them someone wants to say something. And I don't know what that's going to look like for you. Okay, but it's there, and I think it specifically is regarding your connections with other people, and I really do feel something from ancestry. Some kind of karmic vibration is playing out from multiple generations of people that had really unfortunate relationships. And it's like, it's in your genes. Like, you may not even remember how it was impressed upon you in your childhood by your parents. And the same thing happened to them when they were children, from their parents, and so on and so forth. It's like relationship related trauma, karma, that is being healed. And I feel like somebody wants to say something to you about it, about how to heal it, not only for yourself, but for everyone before you. And that's our job. Every generation is building on the previous one and healing the universe through the human experience. Oh my goodness, it got real heavy real quick. Let's look at your affirmation to close out this powerful reading that we've had here. Wholeness cards by the Salvage Sawhorse. I love these cards. They just spoke to me. It was like, this is a perfect way to round out the readings, like bringing back accountability to yourself and knowing that deep down, everything's okay. What do the wholeness cards want you to know? Ooh, I love this. I love this, right? The challenges I've overcome have made me stronger and more compassionate. Wow. It's really hard for us to have compassion for people who are experiencing hardships that we've never experienced before. Is that right? You are getting stronger and stronger. And your depth of empathy and compassion for what other people's struggles is just so wonderful. And it's great for you to be able to connect with others, to know what the hell they're talking about when they're talking about the rough stuff. And I feel like through these experiences that you've had in the past, you can see it on other people's faces. I can see you. I can feel myself through your eyes walking around and looking at other people and being like being able to read their auras of what's going on with them, like what's going on in their aura at the present moment, through their eyes, their energy. And that's something that's intensified for you recently through the hardships that you've been through. Now, we don't have to have hardships in order to become better people. But it really helps to be able to look back over the experiences that we've had and say, well, it wasn't for nothing. This is what I got out of it. It really helps. When shit happens, it helps to be able to look back and say, I got something out of it. Things are looking up for you. Things are transitioning, pivoting in a positive way. Your vibration is rising, and I love that for you. This is where I'm going to leave off. I love you, and I will see you in 12 days, and we'll take a look at where you're at then. Bye, Libra.